everybody, and today this is our second episode outside of Sydney. We are in Canberra, which of course is Australia's capital, and behind me is the famous Houses of Parliament. So right here is the painting that was outside where we did our intro. It is the original painting, in fact, and this was laid down in 1986. Here is the Great Hall. It is a multi-purpose room. It's designed as the room for the Australian people. You can have concerts in here, graduations, and here is the world's second largest tapestry. Apparently, the PM wanted to use it for basketball at the time it was built, but he said that they couldn't, and theoretically all the doors can open in a straight line so the Prime Minister can see all the way from his office to the War Memorial, which is kilometers away. So we're here in the Senate now. It's based on the American system, which is why it's called the Senate, but in fact it is red, representing the House of Lords, in the British system. Right there, behind the table, is the President. He's like the Speaker from the House of Representatives. And behind him is the chair that the Queen is supposed to sit. Of course, she's never sat there, and it's usually for the Governor General now. And there are 12 senators from each state and 2 from each territory. That makes 76 people in total. And right there, right behind me, is where the press sits. They are the only people who are allowed to have electronics while government is in session. And where I'm standing, and these 2 sides, are where people can sit and watch the bills, because this is the people's government. Here are some of the prime ministers of Australia. They each have their own portraits, and in fact, they get to pick the artists that do their portraits done. Some of them have interesting stories behind them. We can't cover them all, but I'd like to show you one prime minister up here. This guy was prime minister for 1 year. And one day he went swimming, never saw him again. Nobody ever found his body. So his deputy minister, John McQueen, took over for 2 months. And then the Liberal Party, which was in charge at the time, wanted Sir John Gordon to take over. But of course he's a senator, and you have to elect somebody from the House of Representatives to be your prime minister. So he had to resign as a senator and then get voted back in to the House of Representatives, and then they turned him into the prime minister, but he didn't last for very long. We're here in the very center of the Parliament houses, and behind me is a fountain. It's designed so that if you want to make just a quiet conversation, it drowns out anybody that might be listening from over there. And also these stars, when the sun is at the right angle, these stars will angle around the fountain. And of course, right up there, which we'll see later, is the flag. We're here now in the House of Representatives. So, now is the big wooden chair right there. That is the Speaker. He's kind of like the President in the Senate, but he can just tell people to go out if he wants, if they speak out of turn. And of course, everything is green in here to represent the eucalyptus leaves. And it's not here right now because the government's not in session, but if you see those 2 hooks, those represent the mace. The mace was a British weapon that they slowly decorated, and it has a crown on one end, and the crown, the bigger hook, is always pointing toward the government side, which is this side, and the other end is pointed toward the opposition's side. And as same with the Senate, the presses are here, people can watch in these areas, but if you've noticed, the clocks are different, and so are the exit signs. Everything will be here. And there are 150 members instead of 76. We're here on the top of the government house. Now, this was originally Capitol Hill because the old Parliament House was down the road, and the idea of this was that people could stand on this hill and be higher than the government. But when the new Parliament House was designed, they wanted to build it here. But of course, they built it into the hill. I'm actually standing on the top of the hill so that people can stand up here and still be on top of the government. So that's why they built it into the hill like this. But it's still a very elegant design. And look up there. That is the flag. The flag is the size of a tennis court. And people could take a tram up there and they replace it every few weeks or so because of wind damage or rips. If you look straight ahead down that red stretch, you can see a little arch, and that is the Australian War Memorial. Now, if you're looking at that white building, that's not it. That is the old government houses. Right, just look up from it, and you should be able to see it. Now, so we're still on the roof here, but the idea is that the Prime Minister can open every single door in a straight line, and he can look from his office all the way to the War Memorial. And if you see, there's a water access here and another water access over there. The idea is that those water accesses come here and form a triangle from the War Memorial to this Parliament building. It's known as the Parliamentary Triangle of Canberra. So, we're up way farther than the Parliament House, which we just saw. Over there, of course, we have Canberra Airport, which every major city, even if this isn't a huge city, needs an airport, especially because it's the capital.
Okay.
And right down below me, we have the War Memorial and Anzac Parade going up across the river. And those two curved bridges right there, those are the part of the Parliamentary Triangle, which goes from the War Memorial across those two bridges and points straight towards the government house, which if you look just beyond the War Memorial, you'll see a white building, which is the old government house, and then beyond that, you'll see the giant flagpole of the modern government house. Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you next time for another episode of Carson's Australian Adventure.